Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Whalenerds podcast. This is episode 13. My name is Slater, and I'm here with Eric and Katlyn.
Hey, everyone.
Hello.
And today we are talking about some stuff that we saw on the water this last couple days. What did we see? We had lots of humpbacks that started returning to the bay, which is awesome. It's a nice change of pace from watching the most exciting gray whale, or exciting whale of them all, the gray whale.
Hey, we had great gray whales
I know.
today.
We had I don't know, how many, 15?
18.
Yeah.
I still like them, and you should like them extra a lot.
I do. I like them in the lagoons.
Yeah. Just in the
Monterey.
lagoons?
And I like them when they're fighting killer whales.
The weather was beautiful today, though, so you got some nice footage of gray whales.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to rain again tomorrow.
Well, it rained yesterday, too. We had like 4 good days, then 1 day of rain, and then, which I guess yesterday was nice on the water. It just rained for the morning. Yeah. I wouldn't have wanted to go, though. I hate when it's rainy.
I enjoyed today. That was all that mattered to me.
It's like a lake today.
But Eric and I were on the boat, 3 days ago?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw a lone killer whale.
Richie.
He's a transient or Bigg's killer whale. Do you guys want to explain about the Biggs, what that means?
Yeah.
Or who it is?
Yeah. You want to go, Eric? Or you
Yeah,
want
I'll talk a little bit about in general. You can probably tell them exactly who that individual that we spotted was. But plain and simple, here in the Monterey Bay area, the most frequently seen ecotype of orca we see is the Biggs, or transient killer whale. The two names are transferable because Biggs is in honor of, I believe it was Michael Biggs.
Yes,
Who
Michael
actually, really kind of did research out there determining that what type of ecotypes that we had out here. He was based out of, I believe it was the San Juan area, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I think so,
Puget Sound.
Yeah, but named after him. But yes, our Biggs or transients are specializing in eating marine mammals. So sea lions, seals, dolphins, and here in the Monterey Bay around April, we frequently see them go after gray whale calves.
Yeah, so basically it's just an honor to Michael Bigg to use that as an alternate name for the ecotype.
Yeah.
He's one of the original researchers that really started to tell people, like, no, these are different. They do different things. They look different. And then, supporting evidence with hydrophone recordings and things like that came along and kind of solidified it all.
And something else I want to talk about. So because it was a lone male killer whale, I always get a lot of comments, and people are always like, "Oh my God, why is he by himself? Is he gonna make it?" Or there's all sorts of things in that manner. And what do you guys think? I mean, we obviously know that he's very healthy. All of the lone killer whales that we see here are very healthy.
Yeah.
Do you know anything on his history? Like, if you know his old pod?
Sort of. So it's a little unclear, but his ID number, according to the old catalog, is 49B. There is a sibling that hangs out with the 51A pod, called 49C. And the first time the history was ever told to me, it almost seemed like the mom was still around, but the kids were not seen with her. But I'm pretty sure that 49 is now suspected to be deceased, because I couldn't even tell you the last time 49 was sighted.
Interesting.
But that's all anecdotal. I don't actually have there's no public log of all the sightings, and the catalog hasn't been updated for quite some time. So that's just kind of like an anecdotal thing that I know about him. But he's sighted in clusters. So you'll see him for a couple weeks, and then he'll be gone for months, and then he'll show up again for a couple weeks, and then he's gone for months.
Yeah, what's funny is we keep on telling, we refer to him as lone male transients, but we've seen them numerous times kind of join up with other pods out here,
right? Or with each other.
For
sometimes
kills.
We'll see several males together.
Or George or Fatfin are 15 miles away or 20 miles away.
Me and Slater actually had 2 lone males actually get together, which was quite often.
Right.
We've seen the combination.
Yeah, I've seen Fatfin and Lonesome George
N25
together.
and George. We've seen back in the past
What is
we had
N25.
Yeah, remember the one with the big notch in the middle? And then we've seen in the past when Chopfin was still around. We assumed
I never saw the Chopfin.
We assumed Chopfin is deceased.
you guys
He used
talk
to hang
about
out with
that one a
Richie.
lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they joined up
sometimes
together.
the loner boys will get together, and then Also kind of an interesting situation is like Liner, who's part of Emma's pod. He is actually, his ID number I think is like 163 or something like that. He's not Emma's son.
Yeah.
So there's kind of maybe some adoption things going on there too. Like 50B hangs out with the 51As after his mom died. So it's not all clear cut how the social structure works.
Exactly.
You know who I want to see again?
Who?
CA-199, that big wavy dorsal.
Yeah, that's a neat whale that you saw.
I'm hoping to see it again, maybe like, in the prime of the killer whale.
In the springtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is like in the springtime, that's like killer whale social hour. When there's a gray whale kill, multiple family groups or like several lone males will kind of join the mix. And it, as far as like the lone male and survival thing goes, I know people ask about that. My opinion is if the male is old enough, which I think Fatfin might have been as young as like 8 years old, and they already know most of the prime foraging areas and know how to, like, they're pretty well socialized. They know how to interact with other adult whales. They're going to be okay when mom dies. But sometimes, if the calf's young, like, under 5, I'd say the odds of survivorship are pretty low.
Yeah, it seems like a perfect example is we were just talking about Lonesome George. We've got old timers at the wharf. Guys who literally are, started working there as kids and teenagers. Remember seeing him in Big Sur, and these gentlemen are in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been around a long time, and I don't know if we've ever known anything other than him being by himself.
Yeah.
I don't think there was ever documented like, oh, this was his mom, but she died. Like, no,
Yeah.
we've always only seen him by himself.
So he's a survivor. So obviously they do. Seems like they can do well by themselves.
Yeah, and they also don't have any, predators.
No, exactly. And they're totally capable of taking down prey on their own.
Yeah.
It may be modified what prey they go after. Like maybe they only can go after like harbor seals and sea lions and they can't take down something like a dolphin. But there's enough food around in this area that they don't really have an issue with it ever.
And I also think they're such good hunters, even being by themselves. Yeah, you're at a disadvantage, but think about it. It's more food for yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to split
and
it.
He only has to eat one sea lion.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he might eat 2 a day. But you know what I mean?
You don't have to hunt like 6 sea lions to feed your family of 6.
Yeah, a perfect example is look at the size of George. I mean, we honestly think he might be the biggest
huge
orca out here in the Pacific. I mean, I have no doubt he's close to 30 feet. And yeah, Slater's photo of him when going towards that boat, you can just,
or
his
like
pec fin's like a coffee
or
table.
CA-24, those boys are big too.
Yeah, CA-10's a big boy too.
Well, also that CA-199, you didn't see it though, huh?
Not in person. I saw your photo and I was like,
big. We were like, when we first saw it, we were like, dang, it had a big wavy dorsal.
Well, you thought maybe it was George. You were sending Eric and I photos of him.
Yeah, but that was from far away.
Yeah.
And then once we had the photos, it was
And I think another important piece is that we miss what they're doing with 90% of their daily life.
Exactly.
Right? Like we do not observe what they do for more than the vast majority of what they're doing day to day. So like, who knows? Maybe they're all hanging out like in Big Sur offshore, like together all the time. And we just have no idea.
It really makes me mad.
You want to know what's happening.
Yeah. Or if not them, then give me the offshores. Like,
just don't lie to me, bro.
Let me know where you're at. Like, I just want to see you.
Yeah, but
it's probably a good thing that we don't know where they're at, to be honest.
Yeah, let them be for a bit.
Yeah, and that's the other question I do. That's the other question I get a lot on the boat is like, well, are they migratory? Like, where do they go when they're not here? And it's like, honestly, there's not a whole lot of sighting coverage except for from other whale watch companies. And like, think of how many hundreds of miles are between like the next ports that regularly go out and regularly report their sightings.
Yeah.
Like, there's these huge information gaps. Like, I can tell you, growing up in Oregon and coming up through the, whale people in Oregon, there's no sighting coverage there. Our whales could be up there all year except for when they're here in April and May.
One thing
we would never know.
One thing Slater and I were talking about, even talked with Kate today. One perfect example is the CA-140s, Emma's pod. When gray whales are here, they are here. Mm-hmm. But you don't hear people in Southern California or north of us say, hey, we saw the 140s. But the 51s, we always do.
Maybe they each have their range.
Yeah.
And then it overlaps in Monterey.
Yeah. It could be. Monterey could be like the crossover point where they all intersect.
I've only seen the 51s here probably like, probably a lot, maybe 4 or 5 times. But it's not that much compared to the other ones.
And things change too. Like, The 51s may have been here a lot more frequently before we all started working here in Monterey, and now it's all about the 140s. And I think that that Jaggeds group was seen more often because I'm pretty sure Fatfin used to go travel with them all the time, and I feel like they saw them more often. I think things definitely change around, and our whale population of like the ones that are really well documented are aging out. And so how does the social structure reorganize after that? I don't really know. We don't see them often enough to know how that's going to go.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that the offshore killer whales, like anyone has any data on them?
Actually, there's some stuff, but it's nothing really super specific. We kind of have ranges.
There are some,
that's about it. Yeah.
Like the original catalog that came out of Central California has some offshore whales in it. I think some of those Salish Sea catalogs have offshores in them.
Yeah, they could go all the way up to Salmon Islands.
Yeah, and there may be an entirely other subset of offshore killer whales that frequent that northern range. I mean, there's some hydrophone recordings, but yeah, I mean, overall data is pretty thin.
I'm surprised they don't go to Hawaii ever. I mean, there's not.
I do think there has been a sighting of killer whales in Hawaii in the last 5 years.
Yeah, no, they are. You'll be surprised. The guys who are out at sea a lot around the Hawaiian Islands do see.
Yeah, I think a fishing boat reported them like 3 or 4 years ago.
In fact, Darren, a gentleman named Darren who runs dive trips off of the Bigg Island, he has some pretty famous photos that went around maybe about 4 years ago of killer whales actually eating a thresher shark. Over there, so they do show up in the area, but yeah, it's not as common, obviously, as
obviously not
lucky
transient,
people,
right?
No, I think it'd have to be some kind of
exactly
squid, large fish, opportunistic feeder, like ETPs. So then that's a whole nother level of complication. Like, are ETPs an offshore type? Are they their own ecotype? Like.
Yeah, what if there's like tons of different, like there's got to be so many different pods of orcas everywhere that feed on different things.
Yeah.
Like we know there is, but I mean, like, what do you consider them,
So guys, really quickly, I just had to pull up an old paper I wrote a few years ago about offshores. I wrote it, but I almost forgot. But one of the offshores that was spotted off of Dana Point was matched to a sighting in Dutch Harbor, Alaska. So that's about 2,700 miles apart. Yeah.
Wow.
I'd like to see the photos.
Yeah.
Myself.
I'd like independent confirmation.
Yeah.
Right though, because like you never know. There's so many different dorsal fins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. You know what? But I would believe it though, because there's also been sightings of transients that have been sighted here that have been in Southeast Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean that's
and
pretty
the southern
crazy.
Residents go up to Alaska and come down here.
Yeah, and they come down here. Yeah. So.
And they go way offshore with the salmon too.
It's all about the food. Yeah. So like Ken Balcom has put these like wanted posters all over the Pacific Northwest for people to report their killer whale sightings, trying to create like a communications hub. He's done that for decades. And just thinking back to like how often are our whales probably sighted off the Oregon coast, and could you even then call them our whales? Like we see them in Monterey in the spring when we know there's a predictable feeding event that happens, but then pretty much the rest of the year they're not hanging out like they do in April and May. So are they really like Central California killer whales? I don't even think that's the right term for them.
Yeah, they're not here as much as we think they are, or say we. Well, they really do come 1 or 2 times a month.
Yeah.
Like, just not this last year. My first year here, they were here 1,
I think
2, 3, or 4 times a month.
I think last year they were here, but the weather was so bad that we couldn't get out into the areas where we typically see them.
And this year too, we just missed like the last 2 months.
I also think it could be a something with the area we're in. If you really think about it, we're in the bay. It is a big bay. But we do have an area we just cover consistently, whereas back in Southern California, the Bight, we're literally just going up and down the coast. So we kind of, chances of seeing them. I don't know how to explain. A bay where you have everything kind of isolated within the bay,
Well, yeah, like if we only make it to the southern part of the canyon and we don't go up to like...
Yeah.
Like how often are they in Carmel and we're like up in the middle of the canyon?
Yeah, we hardly go to Carmel except for gray whale season, which we pretty much turn around at Cypress.
Yeah.
What's the other... where they were the other day.
Well, we saw them off of Moss.
They go to the SoCal hole.
SoCal
We're hardly
hole.
up there.
Yeah.
The only time we ever hear about whales that way is when the Santa Cruz people come down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I bet we miss them a lot too.
Yeah.
Well, in the bay, like, I think what you're trying to say, Eric, is like there's definitely a clear like cut across the bay route that we basically never get to because it's like over an hour drive out of the harbor to get out to the area where they would just straight cut across the bay, like where we were with the gray whales 2 days later.
Yeah, we were out.
They're way out
how
there.
much better is it when you're like way out there and you find a whale?
It is pretty fun.
Like the water was blue,
very
Eric.
clear.
Yeah.
Like it was.
The water was
night
nicer
day
today.
compared to, well, no, I mean, yeah, the clarity, the visibility was insane compared to like where we first saw gray whales in the morning.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there are these routes where you could totally bisect that geography and not come in along the coastline, and it is a lot shorter distance for a whale to travel, and we just never get out in that same zone. So they could be out there all the time, and we just don't even know.
Every day I wake up and I'm like,
Good. I'm glad you're
Like,
waking up,
is today
Slater.
the day? Is today
No,
the
it
day
is
that we're
every
going to
day,
see killer
'cause,
whales?
like, especially knowing that you guys had, because I moved last year, you know, so especially knowing that you guys had a predation in March on St. Patrick's Day, I'm like, today's the day every morning.
Today, well, and that's the cool part about Monterey. Today, any day could be that day.
Yeah, from
Today
now
could
until,
be
like,
that
May.
day. Yeah.
My mom's coming in April, like the end of April sometime to visit, and I was like, yeah, but so I'll be on the boat in the morning for sure.
Every
like,
morning.
like I'm not gonna miss any days.
Like, Mom, you're on your own for breakfast because
And
I
right
gotta
now,
go see some whales.
I have a cold, and like I don't want to go tomorrow because I don't feel well. But I feel like I have to go tomorrow because I'm not gonna
if
go.
you
and
see
that's
me go live on Instagram, you're gonna cry.
Oh, it's Friday, huh? You're working?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. See, you know what I'm saying? Like, what am I gonna do? Fly myself? Like, I'll attach my drone to my backpack and just carry myself.
Fly yourself out to
there.
the bay. We'll just stuff you in the bunk room until it's time to shine.
Seriously though. You know what though is awesome is that we didn't see any today, but people saw them. We heard the other boats see them, but humpbacks are coming in
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we actually. I left out of
everywhere in California.
I worked out of Moss today, and we had probably about a dozen or so. And yeah, it's the bigger models.
Oh, you were on the water?
Yeah.
Oh, we were all on the water today. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, we had plenty of humpbacks, a lot of food in the area, and didn't see any lunge feeding today, but we definitely saw humpback whales circling, flocks of bird that most likely had anchovies under them, and we did have some brave gray whales cruising through the mouth of the bay today, and a lot of harbor porpoise. I don't know why, but the harbor porpoise, for me, been showing really well the last few days.
Well, me too, but we didn't go that way today.
No.
So all the days that you and I worked together this week, we went up towards Moss and saw humpbacks and harbor porpoise. We didn't go to Moss. We went out towards
Today we went
like the corner or something and then went straight out.
Yeah, we went over the outside ledge and then went west from there and then just followed the canyon down.
Slater, you got to show your
To Lake
harbor
Asilomar.
porpoise footage.
Oh, I deleted it.
No!
I'm kidding.
You got drone footage of harbor porpoise?
Like 20 of them.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh my God, I'm staring at my. I'm like, oh, look at this harbor porpoise. I'm like, oh, it's coming towards. I'm seeing a shadow come up, and then there was a humpback next to the harbor porpoise for just I don't know, 8 seconds, and I didn't record it. I just looked at it because I was so excited to tell Eric that the harbor porpoise was
Like,
swimming.
look. Wait,
next
I'm not
to-
recording.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that's exciting. And then I got over like the biggest school of anchovies. Not like ever, but I mean like the nicest one in the area. You know, they were all scattered, and I was like, they're gonna lunge on this. And I seriously was like, oh, I'm gonna get a better angle. And right as I stopped the flipping, I stopped recording, and right as I stopped, all of them go, and I was like, are you kidding me?
Dang it.
So yeah, that
The
was.
struggle is real.
Well, it's just a dark green water, you know. And
Yeah, it's kind of hard to gauge what's happening.
Yeah.
You really are spoiled.
I know. I only fly if the water's clear. I only shoot if the whales are like nice. No, I'm just kidding.
He didn't. You guys don't understand. He did not want to take a photo of a gray whale today.
I didn't. I don't.
He
think I took
didn't
it.
at all. He said it like 4 times.
I actually stood outside with my camera though, because you never know when they're gonna breach.
Yeah.
But then I was like, it's cold.
And then we came up
But
on
I don't
this.
feel well either, so that's not fair. That I'm like.
Then we came up on this group of gray whales way on the outside, and it was like 3 or 4 whales we thought, And then
No,
Slater
it
was like,
2 whales.
maybe 2 whales.
Yeah.
And then Slater's like, well, I guess the water's nice, so maybe I should fly. And the captain and I are like, yeah, you should fly. He puts the drone up. It's 7 whales.
I think.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, it could have been 8.
Nice.
I think at one point, I swear it was 8. I'll have to look at the video.
That happened to us twice today because we were following this group of 2 as our first encounter.
Uh-huh.
And we were like, oh, we're going to leave the area after this last surfacing. 4 came up together. We were like, really? This whole time it's been 4?
Yeah.
They were just all out of sync from each other.
That's cool.
And I think that was, and then we pulled up, we saw a lot of groups today.
Yeah,
I bet
we
there
did.
was more than 15 because there was a lot of whales that were under the surface.
Yeah, we had a lot of like just lazy cruising gray whales. You know, one of the skippers told me today, which actually I think I agree with him. He said southbound, you know, like they're feeling like they're full of energy. They fluke a lot. They're, you know, going down to the party. Northbound, they're like trying to conserve energy and just get up to the feeding ground. So they stay at the surface and don't really fluke.
Yeah, that makes
today
sense.
we hardly saw any fluking whales. They were just kind of cruising below the surface.
But then also, I feel like you see a lot more breaching and stuff on the northbound. But mainly from like the mom and baby pairs down. Like I feel like they get more active in the surf and stuff. But
yeah,
it can go both ways. It just depends.
Yeah.
Depends on the group of whales you find.
You know what else we did today, Eric?
What you guys do?
Oh yeah,
We picked up a lot of balloons.
Oh yeah, you guys had like what 4 and
Yeah.
4 and we
still
missed
picking
2
up-
I was gonna say
also.
we missed a little bundle because, I don't even know. How
And
to
still
explain it, but we
a-
missed one.
Valentine's Day balloons
One
too,
was
right?
today is March 21st.
Yeah.
There was a Valentine's Day
Is
balloon
that
out there.
exactly 1 month today,
It's
or is it 14?
like a month and it's like
Yeah.
5 weeks.
You know
from
what we should do
Valentine's
because
Day.
of that? We should probably start a
Cancel
campaign
Valentine's
to
Day?
cancel Valentine's Day.
I mean, I'm okay with that. No, my challenge for everyone in 2019 is can we come up with a different party favor other than balloons?
Exactly.
Like it's 2019. I think we could do that.
Save the $5 and just give them the cash.
Because I truly believe that those balloons also were sitting on the ocean that entire 5 weeks since they were let go.
The other ones too. I mean, they had no.
There was
paint
some
on
that had no mylar left on, like no.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That is the
they
mylar.
were
That's the part.
the shiny part, right?
The mylar is actually
coating.
yeah, and then they
Oh, it's
coat
the
it with
coating.
other stuff.
So the
yeah.
balloon was all, what Slater's saying is when we picked up the balloon, it just looked like a bag because all of the metallic shiny stuff was gone.
Yeah, like you could tell one of them was like a bear. It had ears or something.
Yeah.
Oh no.
One was like a Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
What worries
Sorry,
me?
Disneyland.
What worries me is sometimes the strings are missing already when we pick up these balloons. They're like, I
Yeah,
just
a
hope
lot
it's
of
not
them
an
the
animal.
string is missing, honestly.
Yeah.
More
Yeah, you
often
got
than
one
not, the
without-
string
I
is
think
missing.
2 of them without
The 2 I gaffed today had no string on them, and the first 2 did. Yeah. I mean, I've seen albatross picking at him before, and that just like freaks me out because I'm
Well,
like,
not even like 10 minutes after that, we did see albatross picking at something.
yeah. I think it
And-
was squid, but
Yeah,
it
it
looked
did,
it
exactly.
looked
But it
kind of
was-
like a balloon.
It was all cool, white and clearish.
Yeah.
Oh, so speaking of albatross picking at things, did I tell you guys about my little sleeper shark the other day?
Oh yeah, that's right. No, you told us, but we should all
Yeah.
hear about it on
Yeah,
the podcast.
yeah.
Yeah. So the other day I was out with Kate and we see like over 16 albatross in a really tight little area, and about 4 or 5 like on something floating in the water. So we try to get close as possible without disturbing the birds and getting them away from the object or carcass, I should say. And we get a little bit closer and we zoom in with all our lenses, and from what we can see out there, it looked like some type of small dark colored shark. And we didn't want to scare the birds away from their food, so when we got back home, we all looked at our pictures, and it turned out it appeared to be a small sleeper shark. And for those of you who are big shark nerds out there, it's pretty interesting because
Dude, I want to see one.
yeah,
I've never seen
was
one.
only probably about 3 to 4 feet long,
How
but
would
this
you
shark
see it?
is known to get
when it's
over
dead.
Yeah.
this shark is known to get confirmed lengths of 15 feet and rumors of them being like close to 20, but pretty neat looking shark, guys. If you haven't seen one before, Google it. They live down deep to eat whale carcasses. They eat anything. In fact, they're known to eat some big stuff
They're
at times.
ultimate decomposers.
So
Yeah.
how many feet do you think the one you saw was? Like 4 feet?
Like 3 to 4 feet. It was
Oh,
a
cool.
dinky little guy, but
I
yeah.
saw the picture. The eyes look crazy.
Yeah, the eyes
how
look
you-
crazy.
That's how I
Yeah.
feel like you could tell.
And then we also got a clear shot of its tail, the caudal fin, and it just matches up with
Oh,
a
that's
sleeper
awesome.
shark. Yeah.
Almost every season, I feel like there is a sighting of a carcass at the surface.
Of a sleeper?
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
one last year, a bigger
There's-
one.
Yeah,
Dude.
I've heard of the biggest one I've heard of is like 8 feet long since
I've
I've
only
been
lived
here.
here 2 years, but I feel like every year I hear a new thing that can happen in Monterey.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so
Isn't
many.
that awesome?
There's so many
Isn't
animals.
that
in
like
this
the coolest thing ever?
bay. Yeah, if I
So
could see them all.
Freaking rad. It's like Pokemon. Got to collect them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
So
There has been a lot of albatross around, which is pretty cool.
It's warming up.
I saw a lot today.
Yeah, it's warming up.
Yeah, there's really
And
there
I'm
was
slowly
like maybe
I'm
8 different albatross
yeah,
today.
and I'm slowly starting to see nettles show up too.
Oh yeah,
Really?
I saw some dead ones today.
It's coming.
You
You know what? That might have been the dead one I saw too.
Speaking of albatross,
Uh-huh.
today this morning I knew he was gonna come right by the boat, so I jumped out of the wheelhouse, and I turned my camera on, and my lens cap was on.
You're
people
sick.
knew-
You're a little bit out of it.
I wish people knew how many times I've pulled my camera up and had my lens cap on.
And then your battery died today too.
Yeah, but I knew it was dying. I saw that.
And sometimes
I
you
was-
forget
I
your
was
memory.
on top of that.
Your memory card too.
Yeah, but now I got a memory card case. I'm like the most unprofessional photographer when it comes to being organized. But if I know, like you best believe Killer Whale season, I'll be prepped and ready.
You'll be ready to go.
Should we not call it Killer Whale season?
I mean, everybody around here does, so.
I mean, it kind of is like a little season, spring season, right?
Yeah.
So how about that time change? I'm just kidding.
I
Nice
like
that
it.
It's still light out.
It's more daylight. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can play outside
Although
longer.
when I get up in the morning to get to work, it's dark, which is lame.
Yeah, I don't get up that early, so. I got up at like 6:30, 7:30 today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, really 6:30? I don't think so.
Well, it does
I didn't
mean
feel good though.
towards the summer we can probably pull off 3 whale watching trips instead of just 2.
Yep. Pretty
Yeah.
soon, Memorial Day weekend is when the 3-a-days start. I like that 5 o'clock trip though, the sunset trip.
Yeah, I've had some pretty good
You're like
experiences on it.
delirious from working the boat all day, but it is
Yeah.
a really nice trip.
We've had humpbacks breaching and sunset before.
Or
yeah.
really good lunch
My
feeding.
last sunset I went on, man, I guess, wow, I just was here for a full season, summer to winter. Okay, so usually I leave, somewhere in the mix. Okay, so I remember the end of last summer, I was on the back deck, and I was like, you guys, we're leaving this whale, so it's probably going to breach. It breached in the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I really want to get that for some reason I can't get ever again is like a group of 6 or more lunge feeding humpbacks at sunset.
It's never
I know
going to happen again.
It's a lot to ask for because I want.
never,
I don't
ever
want like
gonna
one.
happen
I
again.
want like a lot.
How about that first?
Yeah, it'll never happen again. And I lost all the files. I don't want to talk
How
about
about that first summer when we worked at Discovery, and it was like the sky was on fire red, and the whales were lunge feeding. I was in the shop and I just like went on the boat because I had a feeling it was going to be good, and that was
before
incredible.
when I came up just as a remember when there
Yeah.
was like 14 of them lunge feeding at the same time
Yeah.
all the way until sunset.
that was 2015. That fall was really excellent too.
Yeah, I haven't had a day like that.
So like
since.
every other year, so this year's going to be the year.
Oh, I bet it is. We already have humpbacks lunge feeding. Everywhere in California has had humpbacks lunge feeding.
Man.
And like, okay, explain this to me, you guys. They have like 15 humpbacks in San Diego, and they're lunge feeding on anchovies. Like, why can't our water be blue like that?
Because we have this thing called wind.
We have a lot more wind, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it's still not fair.
Especially around Moss, you're gonna get that
Okay, but like-
Elkhorn and river runoff.
But it
so-
won't be there.
That's
for a long
like
time.
exactly. That's like a one-off thing because the reason why their water's clear is because it doesn't have nearly as much phytoplankton,
Yeah,
and so they only get it as a special treat, whereas we get it all the time.
yeah. Maybe I should go back to special treat. Yeah, right. I'll die. I can't
Can you
handle
imagine?
it. I already tried, and I lasted 6 months.
Not
6
even.
months, and Margot was like, "You look sad," and I was like, "I know." She's like, hey, "Let's move." And I said,
Perpetually
"Okay."
depressed.
Dude.
Slater has seasonal affective disorder, but about whales.
Yeah, for sure.
Gray whale affective disorder.
Every like right when it comes around like
GWAD.
February, like right February I start freaking out, and then like March comes in, like it's been good, like the humpbacks
Yeah.
are showing up.
Yeah,
And,
the weather's calmed down a little bit.
yeah, it's when you don't go whale watching for one whole week straight that you're like, wow, this
You
is,
start taking pictures of your dog at the beach, and then you're like, "This isn't even doing it for me."
yeah. No, because it's usually raining too, so then you're just sitting inside thinking about all the good times you had on the boat.
That's why I've been so good at finding salamanders out here because
There
of
you
the
go.
season's
You need a
rain.
rainy day activity,
I could
Slater.
not imagine taking photos of salamanders.
Go get your
It would be
freaking
fun for
macro
me for,
lens.
like a minute, and then I'd be like, all right, where's the whales? Like, are these things gonna breach?
Get like a fisheye lens and
Yeah,
just go salamander
I've been finding
hunting.
salamanders this year. Never thought I'd ever find because of all the time we've had, all the rain too.
All right, do you guys want to compare animals compares the size of animals to
other things.
Objects, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So I actually got one of our listeners, Antonio. Thank you for the question once again. But he, hears us always talk about the sizes of all our animals out there, but it's not like everyone has, a giant ruler out in their driveway and stuff like that. So he's wondering what everyday objects can you compare some of the more popular whales to, so people can kind of visualize how big these animals really are. So me and Katlyn have already, this was a really good question. It's actually a question that even kids used to ask me at the aquarium. At the aquarium, we did take the time to take a rope that was approximately 100 feet long and show kids this is, the size a blue whale can get. And then halfway down, we had like a knot to let them know, okay, this is about 50 feet. This is how big your, this is how big your gray or your humpback whale could average. But, still, that rope is still kind of, it's still hard to imagine.
It's still pretty abstract.
Yeah, so everyday objects, as Antonio asked, would be a better example. So me and Katlyn came up with a blue whale. Blue whales, official 98, unofficial at 110. Your NBA size basketball court, guys. A basketball court is officially 94 feet. So a blue whale is as big as a full size regulation basketball court. Yeah. And then what was the other whale?
So what I always say on the boat for humpback whales and gray whales is you're looking at gray whales average 40 to 50 feet, humpback whales 45 to 55 feet. A school bus is about 45 feet long. So that's a good comparison of how long those whales are. Or a city bus. They're usually pretty similar in length. What I like to tell people about the calves, though, is I drive a Toyota Tacoma truck. I actually had to have it weighed one time. It's about 16 feet long, and it weighs 2,000 pounds. So a newborn gray whale or humpback whale calf could be the exact same size as my truck.
Your truck's that light?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, come on. She's a little truck.
It's a little baby truck.
I can lift that thing. Like when I'm working out.
Do you lift, bro?
Yeah. So those yellow school buses you guys traditionally see, those are known to be about 45 feet. Yeah.
If you parked my truck next to a bus, that would be like a full-term gray whale fetus.
Next to a baby.
Size as the mom.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Well, now we gotta go find a bus in your truck and take a picture.
And we'll take a picture for reference.
Is it a gray whale? Is there a replica of a gray whale in Monterey Bay Aquarium?
Yes, and it is life size.
And there's
the killer whales are life size. Yeah.
The killer whales are big.
Yeah, killer whales are a lot bigger than you think they are.
And then at the Aquarium of the Pacific, if you're in Southern California, they actually have a blue whale life-size model with a calf next to it. The blue whale is 88 feet. That's a female that they have a replica of. And then if you walk up the stairs and right next to it, you'll see the calf next to it. And I think the calf was made to be about 22 feet. And those are all life-size anatomically correct, models there. So if you have access to those areas, either the Monterey Bay Aquarium or Aquarium of the Pacific, you will see accurate life-size models of these animals.
Another one I use for dolphins, for smaller cetacean species like harbor porpoise, Pacific white-sided dolphins, common dolphins, is especially common dolphins, Pacific white-sided dolphins, and northern right whale dolphins. I say they're a little bit larger than the average human. So they're 6 to 8 feet long. You could easily say that there are human beings that are 6 feet tall, right? And they weigh 200 to 300 pounds. The Coast Guard considers the average American to weigh 180 pounds. So they're just a little bit larger than the average human. And then harbor porpoise, are even closer to average human size. They're 4, maybe 5 feet long, and again, weigh maybe 200 pounds. So that's another good one to kind of compare for people, that if you laid down on the beach next to like a dolphin that had washed ashore, you'd measure up pretty close to the same length as them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, some bottlenose, average size bottlenose I've seen like that.
Oh my goodness. Hold on. Sorry. During the summer, when we have the lunch meeting humpbacks, and we have 10 humpbacks there and 1,000 sea lions, it's really cool to think that all the sea lions are 5 to 6 feet,
Yeah, they're kind of like a person size.
Yeah, they're and then you see 6 of them are next to a humpback.
Yeah.
Down the side of it. And
That's a good one to provide some context for how big a whale is. You're wow, that sea lion's not even as long as that whale's head.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not 6 of them, 10 of them.
Yeah.
Another resource I thought of, especially if you're from this area, that Long Marine Lab in Santa Cruz actually has that
Miss Blue
blue whale skeleton outside,
Yes.
and then right behind it, more towards the cliff in the ocean, there's a smaller gray whale skeleton that you guys can also step up to see how big these animals really are. And unfortunately, remember how this summer we see all those strandings and the sea animals on shore, but that's like your best chance sometimes to actually get up to these animals and figure out how big they are. Like that common dolphin that was over there by Lubbers, that's just the common dolphin. And, you in the water, you're like, oh, it looks like it's only about 4 feet long. And then I lay down next to it. It's like, and it's like, oh, it's my size. I'm only 5'7" about. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can also kind of compare animals to each other. Like when we're talking about killer whales attacking gray whales, the killer whales are about the same length as the calf, maybe a little shorter by the time the calf reaches Monterey. And the killer whales typically outweigh the calf.
Mm-hmm.
The males do. I don't know if the females do. But, they're going after an animal that's basically the same size as them, being defended by an animal that's twice as long as them.
Yeah. This reminds me of, remember this? What we're talking about?
Oh, units of measurement. People use like yards, feet, gallons, and then like you listen to David Attenborough. He's like 10 swimming pools.
My buddy Mike, who's created a lot of and helped produce a lot of documentaries out there about wildlife. He's saying that how you always hear like David Attenborough narrating a documentary going, it's as big as full school buses. And yeah, it really is a realistic way to,
Units of measurement in elephants also is quite popular.
Elephants, football fields, always.
Because everyone just casually knows how much an elephant weighs in pounds or kilograms.
It kind of gives people a general idea.
Well, it's like saying the blue whale's tongue weighs as much as the biggest land animal, the African elephant. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, but how much is the African
how much
elephant
does an elephant
They get
weigh?
the idea of the mass of it, but the actual weight.
Yeah. And then people say like a blue whale heart is the same size as a Volkswagen Bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, you could drive a car into the blue whale's mouth.
But
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that's
was my
right. You were so
favorite.
fascinated with that.
Slater was flying the drone over lunch feeding blue whale. I'm sure we've talked about this before in one of the other episodes, but Slater leans over to me while watching this blue whale's gaping jaw open and is like, you think you could park a car in there? I was like, I know you could park a car in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could drive right in. It's like a full garage.
So yeah, all these resources out there that you see on an everyday basis could help you out. Or hey, if you're that curious, do what I said about what we used to do with the kids at the aquarium. Go to Home Depot, buy that 100-foot rope, lay it out, and go, wow.
Yeah, another fun thing I like to do, depending on which vessel I'm on, and this doesn't apply all the time, but like the Chubasco, which is one of our whale watch vessels at Discovery, the humpback whale's tail fluke is just about as wide as the back of the boat. The back of the boat's like 20 and a half feet. And
a max size humpback is actually the size of a Chubasco.
Yeah, and then the length of the Chubasco is just over 63 feet, and that's like the biggest recorded humpback on record. So it's nice to also put context for like when I say the tail's as wide as the back of the boat, people look at the back of the boat and they're like, "What the? Are you serious?"
Imagine if humpbacks did get like 70 feet, like a fin whale,
And breaching, that'd be amazing.
Yeah,
that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they'd be able to breach still because their bodies are built different than
Yeah,
whales.
yeah, they have. Yeah,
They
they're
have
definitely
fins and
built
push
different.
with and,
Yeah,
all sorts of stuff.
very wide flukes for how long
You think
they
there
are.
is a 65-foot gray or humpback out there?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, they're probably
Some of ours
out
are
there.
huge. You like see them come up and you
Those
look
two
across
we've
the
been
shoulders
watching,
and you're like,
Slater, are
"Holy
huge, yeah.
moly!"
Saw them again today.
I don't think so, but there's two me and Slater been watching. Every time we see them, we're like, it's them, and it's like you just look at me like those are some big girls. The one I was describing to you, Katlyn,
Probably like
clean.
postmenopausal humpbacks.
Yeah.
Did you guys see
Big old ladies.
The humpback that Adam saw? He named it Chalkboard. It has rake marks like head to toe.
Oh wow.
Like his whole body has like his
Scuff marks or like rake marks?
Like rake marks from killer
Oh,
whales.
is it maybe? How big was it? Was it a younger one? There was one here, like a calf, like 3 seasons ago that was completely chewed.
All right,
everywhere,
Adam, we're
that
gonna
was
stalk your
shredded
Instagram
everywhere.
right now, buddy, and see your whale here.
Put it in his story. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was yesterday. Dang it.
Yeah, it might be gone already.
It's gone. Adam, where you at? Okay, look. Well, no, it's on. He posted it on Happy Whale. So, Chalkboard, California. I think it was it's the first fluke ID on there. It's his first time being seen, so he named it.
Okay.
My first Happy Whale name. Good luck,
Interesting.
Chalkboard. Hope to see you soon. Yeah, so, but you guys have to find the photo, or maybe he'll post it again. but what's it called? It had rake marks all over the dorsal, the fluke. Like,
I'll have to see if oh my gosh, it's kind of a tall order for me to dig through my archives of photos, but I have photos of that calf from that season 3 years ago that was just like completely, it was like, it almost looked like a zebra. It was so covered in rake marks all over its body.
So they must get away, I guess.
Yeah, that one definitely was like eaten by several killer whales and still got away.
I wonder if what happens is they just mess with it. So like they're just like, maybe they're not even hungry, but they'll just go up and.
I totally think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They know it's probably not worth the fight, and
yeah,
they just mess with it.
I mean, I see them get adult gray whales rolling around just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they torture. They're kind of like cats, dude. They like.
So you know what?
Torture the mouse and let it run around, and then just keep messing with it.
Oh no.
We need to.
I see them do that with sea lions.
Yeah.
Maybe we should be watching the gray whales instead of. I keep wanting to go to the humpbacks the last couple of days. I've been saying let's go to Moss.
No, yeah, we should be watching the.
We should be
we
watching
should be
the
out on the
grays
edge of the canyon
because
right now.
yeah,
There could be a predation.
they're gonna lead us to the killer whales.
Yeah.
All right, I'm changing my game plan. We're going for grays.
All right.
I'll tell the captains.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They like when you do that.
They definitely love it when you tell them what route to take for the day.
I just simply suggest it.
Yeah, just walk up to him and say,
I'm gonna run this up the flagpole. You don't have to salute if you don't want to.
Like, you can agree or disagree, but I want to go to the back and eat some snacks.
Do it. I'm the captain now.
All right. Well, Katlyn's leaving to Baja
Woo-hoo.
to go see gray whales in the lagoons.
I can't wait.
So we get to hear about that in a week or so.
Yes.
I guess we're going to have one more episode before you leave, or we're going to record it.
We're going to record it,
we
and
just
it'll
be
publish
one
for the
late?
day. Ooh.
We could just be one day late.
just be
make it
one
a
day
big one.
late.
And you'll remember everything freshly.
And I'll be like
Yeah.
crying because I'll be so tired. But I'll be so excited.
Yeah, but you'll still have a lot of energy to want to tell
no,
everybody
I
what you
will.
saw.
I will like not be able to sleep until I get the story out and be like, you guys, I saw all this stuff.
Can you
I'm
bring
going to
me?
see stuff, right?
Can you bring me
I
a
don't know.
souvenir?
The whales might not be there when she gets there.
Stop! Are the whales going to be there when I get there?
in the 2 days you'll be when you get there.
Yeah, they're for sure going to be there. Look how many whales are coming by today. I guess that doesn't mean that's.
Yeah, don't worry,
That's not
Katlyn.
necessarily a good
Look how
thing.
many whales are leaving already. No, I people just wrote me today and they said, "Oh, I was just there last week." So the people are there.
And all of my trips have been literally the last week of March into the first week of April, so you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna see that, and then on your way back, you're gonna stop and try to swim with the killer whales.
The whale
Try to
sharks.
swim with the killer whales, and then the whale sharks.
Yeah, we'll see. Our schedule's pretty tight because it's such a long drive from La Paz. I may just have to do another trip to go see the whale sharks.
So, one of the guides on the boat that we were with, in my trip to Baja, her sister jumped in with orcas in Mexico.
What?
And
inside the Sea of Cortez or what?
yeah, somewhere crystal clear blue water.
Wow.
And they just swam around her, checked them out. Like they were all like just in like bathing suits, swimming with orcas
my God.
with just masks on. And I was like, wow, they're all.
If I get to
super
touch
diving and
one
stuff.
gray whale and I get to see a frigate bird, we're good.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Like you're for sure gonna see frigates. They were
Yeah,
everywhere.
they're
Are they
I see
everywhere
them.
there too?
I saw them over there. Just hopefully they're still there when you get there.
But it's also going to be like full moon's today. So it's still going to be like kind of bright out at night. If I could see a whale at nighttime, I would be so happy.
Wait, you see whales at night here?
No,
Oh.
like in the dark.
Speaking of that, Katlyn,
Is that
what's
weird?
No, I'll tell you something about that.
you know what's funny, Katlyn, is the camp you're going to, Koyima, where I usually go. We actually asked them what Koyima means, and supposedly it's the light that is created when a gray whale breaches at night from the bioluminescence.
Oh, it's like a slang for just that specific
Yeah,
part of Baja?
so when you go there, ask them about that.
Kind of like Chubasco is like a rain squall that they only
Yeah.
use that term on Baja or something like
Yeah,
that.
so ask them about the origin of the name Koyima.
So, I was eating at a restaurant at the wharf down here, and I was there for a birthday, and there was moonlight coming across the bay, and I'm just thinking one day there's got to be a humpback like that does something.
So
Like
what
a
you're saying
fluke.
is every time there's a full moon, we should go look for whales from land.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, I'm in.
Well, it's got to be at a spot where you get it's got to be just coming on the mountain. So it's
Dude,
getting
okay, no, here's
big
I know the
glare,
place.
You know what I mean?
Like Lover's Point, because then the moon's coming up from the east on the other side of the bay and it makes this nice light on the bay. You're looking at seaside,
Yeah, Lover's Point.
So catch us over at Lover's Point and PG on the next full moon.
Catch me at Lover's
It's
Point.
raining,
How
I'll be
about
inside.
that?
Yeah, but or off wharf too if they're lunch feeding over at like the embassy
yeah,
or whatever.
yeah,
Not
the
embassy
tides.
suites, the tides. What's up with that? There was the first year, man.
Can you imagine? Oh my God, we messed up last year. There was bioluminescence last year. We could have gone to the beach and probably watched them in the bioluminescence from the Tides Hotel. What were we doing?
I wasn't even here. Wait.
Yeah, in the summer.
I went kayaking in the bioluminescence.
Yeah,
you
you
swam.
really went kayaking in the bioluminescence.
Oh, you heard about that?
Of course I heard.
I walked in the next day, Eric, and was like, Eric fell in the water, everyone.
Eric fell off his kayak and really made the bioluminescence.
They shouldn't have thrown the kayak in front of me. I was paddling so fast I went right over that kayak and rolled it.
What?
Wait, what?
That is not what happened.
It did. That's how it flipped. Because the kayak, I was going towards the dock, and the kayak, he had the kayaks tied up, and it was in front of me, and I was like, oh, okay. Boom! I flipped right over.
So in Mexico, when we were releasing the turtles, there was bioluminescence on the beach right there. Not from the turtle, but like
yeah.
We because
It was
there was a lot of
breaking on
lights
the
on.
shore.
But once we turned the lights off, yeah, the guide was stepping around.
Wait, have you ever seen bioluminescence at the lagoons in Coima, Eric?
No.
That's what I was going to ask you.
I haven't seen it there, which is weird. They talk about it, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, I want to see it.
Just go to the beach and splash around.
The beach over there is neat, guys. A lot of whale bones, carcasses of things. There's lots of fossil beds over there. So you're going to have fun just walking around the water.
Yes.
Literally 2 days after I leave, their next tour group that went through the same people in Mexico that I went with, they took them on like a hike, and they went and saw a bunch of gray whale bones. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? She's like, oh yeah, just a 40-minute walk or 40-minute boat ride to this little island. And I was like, what?
You might want to do that, Katlyn. Actually, when you go to Coima, ask them about the flat. There's a flat area over there, kind of almost like a salt flat that has a few gray whale bones at. So
right on. Okay.
And there's literally turtle shells, ribs just laying around your campsite over there. It's amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I did see bones though. Remember I showed you the one that looked like a dinosaur. Some sort of shark or something.
Yeah.
And then there was a bird. There was a bunch of bones all over this beach. Cool. I think fishermen leave the bones there.
Probably.
Yeah. Sadly, there was a really small hammerhead shark there too.
Oh, bummer.
Could have been bycatch or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely could have been.
But we did see tons of frigates in that spot too. There's frigates all over the water.
Is there like a mangrove or something over by where I'm going, Eric?
Yeah, in Coima there actually is the mangroves. Just ask them about it, and if the tide's right, they'll be able to take you in there.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Mangroves, and in fact, the mangroves at Coima, the middle of Baja area, that's the northernmost mangrove, patch that you got.
Oh,
okay.
Northernmost. Okay,
Northernmost, yeah.
Because we had so many mangroves.
They're more common down south.
Yeah, Mac Bay there was tons, and then La Paz had mangroves.
Yeah,
as well.
So the ones in San Ignacio are the northernmost,
oh, that's cool.
mangroves. Yeah, and they're really important. I mean, if you really get into it, they absorb, a lot of the bad stuff out there for us. So
right, it's kind of like like eelgrass and kelp beds and things like that.
Yeah, it also kind of protects certain areas from erosion also.
Yeah.
So mangroves are more, unfortunately we only got them, in the southeast, but they're pretty amazing habitat. Kind of like our kelp forest.
Yeah.
Slater is scrolling through his photos from Baja in front of us. It's not even very nice of him at all. It's not even fair.
I'm thinking I should post another whale shark photo.
Do it. They're beautiful.
Please, you got so much great whale shark footage.
Underwater whale shark video.
That one. Also, you haven't posted that yet. I've been watching it. I have the sneak preview.
You were blessed with good water quality too, because every time the last few photos I've seen with people, it hasn't been you keep on saying it's not clear, but it's clearer than most people's.
I'll show you. Well, I'll show you the video. You saw the video.
I've seen the video.
You'll see the video and you're like, okay, it's not that clear.
Even the guys
but
that go
still,
to see
it's really cool.
Even the guys that go into
Bahia,
they don't get that clear of water, but you got some decent water in your trip. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was clear. It was. I don't know. It was clearer in person than it was on the camera. I don't know.
No, well, because the camera picks up all those little particulates more than your eyes do.
Yeah.
Backscatter. But the drone, I mean, that's the thing with the drone. It just cuts through and like makes it look like it's in this
Yeah.
It doesn't have the same glare at an angle. You're looking straight down on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it makes it look a lot nicer than it is. Well, it was amazing. It was like perfect weather.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, well, you guys, we just made it to 49 minutes and 11 seconds. This is a good podcast. I'm excited. This was a good one.
Yeah.
We have some more topics that I think we'll talk about on the next episode. But that might even come after, because I think what we're going to do is we'll have Katlyn come fresh and we'll put a podcast out on Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll push our posting to Tuesday the 2nd for episode 14.
And so we had some people come on the boat over the last couple weeks. I missed them both times.
Yeah, thanks, Whale Nerd fans, for being out on the boat. We appreciate that. It was fun to meet you all in person. And, it was coming up on, really good sighting seasons. I know some of you braved some gnarly weather to come whale watching.
Yeah.
So if you can come again sometime soon,
That's probably why I wasn't there.
yeah, that might be why Slater missed you both times.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think it was raining that day. But yeah, if you guys are a listener, once again, thanks for, coming by and saying hi to us. As you can see, myself and Katlyn and Slater don't bite. So yeah, feel free to come up and chat with us. So it was really nice talking to you folks. And it turns out some of our fans are more than interested in whales because they have similar mindsets as your fellow podcasters here. So it was nice talking to you guys.
Also, on that note, if you guys found us from like Spotify or Podbean and you don't follow us on Instagram, make sure you follow us. It's at Whalenerds, and send us topics, questions, whatever you got. We like to hear it. So, thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys, for listening.